What is up, boys? Without further ado, you know what it is. You know the platform, you know the profile, and you know how we do things here. We're going to start out with the NFL scoreboard for week 4. Can you believe it? We're already in week 5. Man, it doesn't even seem like it, and it's gone by really, really quick. But it is what it is. It's that time of the year. 5 games in. You basically know what your, not only your NFL teams, but what your fantasy teams are basically going to do. I want to say happy October. It is October 1st. And we have a game tomorrow. It's not going to be a nice game, but what can you do? Because the entire 49ers team is hurt. So we basically know what the Rams are going to do to them. But we're not going to talk about that until we get to week 5 preview. So let's go ahead without further ado and let's start the recap of week 4. We had Thursday, we had the Seahawks versus the Cardinals. Seahawks pull it out in the last minute and what turned out to be an entertaining game. I was very surprised. Seahawks win 23-20 over the Cardinals. Kyler Murray and the offense, they couldn't really do anything. Trey Benson, none of those guys. Marvin Harrison did salvage his day, but he was the reason that the Cardinals lost this game. So I don't have too much to say on this game. But kudos to the Seahawks, 3-1. Cardinals dropped to 2-2. Shout out to Sam Darnold, Kenneth Walker, Jackson Smith-Njigba, and the Seahawks offense and their defense. Next up, you had the early game on Sunday. The Vikings absolutely choked away this game. They lost 24-21. It may seem close, but it really wasn't. Steelers basically dominated the game. Carson Wentz sucks. I don't understand how you have JJ, Jordan Addison, Jalen Naylor, Mason in the backfield, and TJ Hawkinson, and you throw interceptions, and then as the game is on the line, all you're doing is throwing to Jalen Naylor. Just absolutely horrible by Carson Wentz. You may look at the stats, he may have helped your fantasy. Addison, Jefferson may have helped your fantasy, but this was a horrible game. And being the fact that I had money on it makes it even worse. Steelers pull it out 24-21. Finally, a breakout game from DK Metcalf. Kenneth Gainwell with the anomaly, announced as the starter before the game, finishes the game 19 carries, 99 yards, and 2 TDs. The Vikings defense should be ashamed of themselves. What I thought was dominant because of what they did to Cincinnati the week before, they showed that they were a one-week wonder. Let's see what happens going into week 5. Next up, Commanders-Falcons. Welcome back, Drake London. Welcome back, Falcons offense. After getting blown out 30-0 the week before, they come in and beat up on the Commanders 34-27. And the Commanders had a valiant effort, but with Terry McLaurin hurt, no Jaden Daniels, you know, it is what it is with that. So kudos to the Falcons. Bijan Robinson, you did your thing. Drake London, you did your thing. Hopefully they can keep it going. Next, in a game that almost scared me, which was my survivor pick, the Bills almost blew the lead and almost lost to the Saints, but they end up salvaging it in the fourth quarter and looked like the old Bills and won 31-19. James Cook, I thought I owe you an apology. I thought after James Cook got paid that he would mail it in, but he didn't. James Cook, over 100 yards and a touchdown. Khalil Shakir, 2 touchdowns. They did their thing. Joshua Allen doing Joshua Allen things. Bills 4-0, Saints 0-4. Looking for that number 1 pick. Next up, Browns versus Lions. It wasn't even a match, and ended up getting Joe Flacco sent to the bench. Lions win 34-10, steamrolling the Browns. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 2 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, a touchdown. They didn't even have to play that hard. I thought the Browns defense was a little bit better than this, but they are who we thought they were. In the words of the late, great Denny Green. Next up, Panthers-Patriots. Patriots steamroll the Panthers 42-13, showing that last week what they did to Atlanta was a fluke. Patriots win 42-13. And finally, Travion Henderson got in the end zone, got some run. Finally, Stephon Diggs showed up. Hunter Henry did Hunter Henry things. And they're still playing the three-headed monster at running back. Drake May looks good. Kudos to Drake May. Patriots look good, 2-2. Panthers 1-3. Next up, what I thought was going to be an easy win for the Chargers. Chargers end up losing to Jackson Dart and the Giants. Taking a moment of silence for Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors tore his ACL on the MetLife field. Everybody, look it up. If you don't believe me, look it up on the internet. Everybody gets hurt at MetLife field. And I'll say this and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. They need to take out the turf in all these stadiums and put natural grass, because players aren't going to last much longer with the turf. Anyway, back to it. Oh. What happened? Oh, come on. All right, there we go. Are we back to it? There we go. Next up, Giants Chargers. Omari and Hampton and the Chargers lose to the Giants 21-18. Horrible game from the Chargers. I thought the Chargers would run away from this. Quentin Johnson did Quentin Johnson things. 8 catches, 98 yards and a tutty. Omari and Hampton, 12 carries, 128 yards and a touchdown. They shouldn't have lost this game. Their defense gave up this game, and also the offensive line was badly hurt. They lost another left tackle. So it is what it is. Hopefully the Chargers can rebound. Giants have a lot of work to do at 1-3. They acted like this game was their Super Bowl. Let's see if Jackson Dart can keep it going 2 weeks in a row. Jackson Dart rizzed Justin Herbert by saying that Justin Herbert's girlfriend was his crush, and Justin Herbert came out and played like shit. So I think it got in his head a little bit. So good job to Jackson Dart. You're the Riz God on that. Next up, Eagles Buccaneers. This was a thriller. Buccaneers almost pulled it out again, but they fall to the Eagles 31-25. Eagles move to 4-0. Buccaneers 3-1. The fake tush push was very, very live in this game, and they've added another method to the tush push. So not only do you have the tush push, now they have the pitch out to Saquon Barkley, the pitch out to Dallas Goedert on the tush push now. But the Eagles aren't making any friends, especially in fantasy, because they will not throw the ball. I think the Buccaneers will be fine once they get Mike Evans back. Eagles are on their way to another playoffs and maybe another Super Bowl with that defense. Titans, Texans. Texans blanket the Titans 26-0. Texans are now 1-3. Titans are now 0-4. I really, really feel bad for Cam Ward. I don't think that he saw it like this, but the Titans are horrible. And if they lose this week, I expect them to fire their coach. Texans finally salvage a win because of Woody Marks and a decent game from C.J. Stroud. So let's see if the Texans can keep it going. I think Woody Marks needs to start going forward. The offense looked better with him in the game. Next up, Colts and Rams on a thriller. Let me first say this. Adonai Mitchell, by far one of the dumbest moves that I've seen in a football game. And we've all seen when you celebrate too early. But he not only celebrates too early, but then he fumbles the ball out of the end zone. Then he makes a crucial, so that's one. Then he makes a crucial holding call when Jonathan Taylor ran for a 55-yard TV. I know that some of you Jonathan Taylor owners were not happy with that. Blame Adonai Mitchell. Write the Colts, email Adonai Mitchell, and I think that he needs to be benched once Alec Pierce comes back. Puka Nacua, number one wide receiver in fantasy. Number one wide receiver, in my opinion, in football, doing Puka Nacua things. 13 receptions, 170, and a touchdown. If the Rams keep playing like this, again, their only loss was to the Eagles on a blocked field goal. The Rams could easily be 4-0 right now. Rams win 27-20. The Colts are still good. Again, that idiot Adonai Mitchell cost them the game, or they might be 4-0 right now. Colts are still the Colts. Indiana Jones and the boys, I still have a lot of faith in them. Jaguars, upset of the week. Jaguars upset the 49ers, 26-21. Both teams fall to 3-1 on the season. Parker Washington was the decisive play on a punt return for a TD. But both defenses and both quarterbacks played horrible. They were throwing a lot of interceptions. But Jacksonville was able to pull it out. Again, with Trevor Lawrence not throwing to Brian Thomas Jr. Whatever. Ravens Chiefs. Chiefs win 37-20 and look like the old Chiefs from 2 years ago. I don't know what's happened to the Ravens, but I think that the Ravens season is over. Ravens are now 1-3, Chiefs 2-2, trying to salvage their season. Lamar Jackson gets hurt in this game. Derrick Henry does nothing. Basically, their defense did nothing and lost a lot of players. The Ravens are in trouble. I could see them, I hate to say it, I know we're only in week 5, but I could see them missing the playoffs. The Chiefs will be right back in it now that they've got Xavier Worthy back and they get Rashee Rice back in 2 weeks. Bears Raiders. This was the coming out party for Ashton Jeanty. Unfortunately, it was in a loss. Ashton Jeanty, 21 carries, 138 yards, and 3 TDs. The Bears squeak it out 25-24. The Raiders suck. They at 1-3. The Tucker experiment was a 1-week wonder. He's back to doing nothing. And the Bears are silently 2-2, which I feel is more good for them. I thought they'd be worse than what they are right now. In the game of the year, which shouldn't have ended in a tie, you have the Packers-Cowboys. Packers fall 2-1-1. Cowboys 1-2-1, ending in a tie, like I said, 40-40, which should not happen. Jordan Love should have been better in this game. George Pickens was a monster in this game. Josh Jacobs was a monster in this game. Romeo Doubs was a monster in this game. This was a very, very entertaining game. And this game should not have ended in a tie. And I'll leave it at that. Packers are on a bye. Hopefully they can rebound when they get back from the bye because their defense looked like crap. They couldn't even sack Dak. They got 1 sack. And that was, because Dak was running out of the pocket. Anyway, let's see. I don't think Green Bay's the monsters that they thought they were. Next up, Jets lose to the Dolphins 21-27. But what did it cost? It cost Tyreek Hill for the Dolphins to get a win. Darren Waller was resurrected and pulled out of the crack house and was able to help the Dolphins with 2 touchdowns. Devin A-Chain did Devin A-Chain things. Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson got it going too late, which ended up costing the Jets. In the end, Jets fall to 0-4. Dolphins coaches and GMs survive another week. As you know, we're not wearing Dolphins gear. We're wearing, we're not wearing anything Dolphins until they fire the coaching staff and the GM. We'll wear stuff. Lastly, and I never thought I'd say this, Bengals Broncos. Broncos win 28-3. The Bengals quit. There's no way to get around it, no way to say it. Bengals quit. 3 points. Their quarterback has got to be one of the worst that I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how they've not traded for anybody yet, but if they want to save their season, they better do something. Bengals fall to 2-2. Broncos, Bo Nix and the boys. Cortland Sutton a touchdown. RJ Harvey a touchdown. J.K. Dobbins over 100 yards. Marvin Mims a touchdown. Just embarrassing the Bengals. There you have it, boys. That is your week 4 recap. We will now get into week 5. Let's see here. Again, like I said at the beginning of this video, Thursday we have a stinker for you. And why I say it's going to be a stinker, because everyone from the 49ers is hurt. I still can't believe they're 3-1. Facing the 3-1 Rams, I expect for the Rams to blow out this 49ers team very early. You can take Puka Nakua's stats. You can take Kyron Williams for a touchdown. You can take Devontae Adams for his stats. And you can probably take Devontae for a touchdown. And there you have it. And whatever Matthew Stafford. You can take Matthew Stafford for 2 TDs. And you can take the Rams on the money line and the spread, which is 7.5. Dolphins-Panthers. Both teams are bad. I think the Panthers pull this out. I'm not going to lie. I think the Panthers pull this out. I'm going to take the underdog. I'm going to take the Panthers, even though the Dolphins are winning, according to Vegas. But with these weeks, I haven't won a week yet. You never know. But if I had to pick, I'd say I'm going to take because the Dolphins' defense is so bad, I'm going to take the Panthers. But would I be surprised if the Dolphins won? No. So what I would do in this game, you take Achane stats, you take Achane for anytime TD, you take T-Mac and his stats, and you take Chuba Hubbard for a TD, and you take, I would say if you want to put it over 40 points, take the over 40 points. Next up, Vikings-Browns. The Vikings should easily win this game with Dylan Gabriel starting for the Browns. The Browns have now waited till week 5 to do the rebuild and see what they got for next season. They have already quit on the season at 1-3. You can take the Vikings receivers for their stats, but that's all I would touch in this game. They have this game set at a total of 36.5. I say it goes under with the 2 defenses, but Minnesota should win this game. But with Carson Wentz at quarterback, you can bet this at your own risk. Next up, Raiders-Colts. I expect the Colts to win. They have the Colts winning by a touchdown. I say they win more like 3 points. You can take it down to 3. I do have the game going over 40. They have it at 47. You can take Tyler Warren on his stats, Indiana Jones on his stats, Jonathan Taylor on his stats, and you can probably take, if they give him the ball long enough, you can take Ashton Genty on his stats. Giants-Saints, the toilet bowl. Somebody has to win this game, right? I'm going to take the Giants over the Saints. I think the Giants just have a little bit more moxie right now with Jackson Dart as quarterback. They have the total over 41, and they have New Orleans as the favorite. No, I'm taking the Giants definitely in this game. And if the total goes over 41, I would say maybe. I'm 50-50 on that. Do with that what you will. Juwan Johnson stats I'll take, I'm not going to take Kamar. I'll take Olave stats, Juwan Johnson, Jackson Dart stats, give me Cam Scatterboo stats, and Wan'Dale Robinson in this one, if you're betting on Prize Picks or anything like that. Next up, Cowboys-Jets. I take the Cowboys in the win here. Jets go 0-5. Cowboys do enough to win. Give me Javonte Williams stats over, Garrett Wilson stats over, Dak Prescott, George Pickens, and give me Justin Fields stats over. But I expect the Cowboys to win in this one. They have the Cowboys minus 2.5. I'll take that. And I don't know if this game will go over. They have it at 47, close to 50. If you want to bet it down to 40, I'll take the over 40. Broncos-Eagles in the game of the week. Give me the Eagles in this one going on they're going to squeak it out by the Broncos. They have Philly by 4. I would bet that down to 3. And I would take the over 43.5. If you want, you can bet it down to 40. As far as Broncos stats, I'm not touching anybody on the Broncos. And as far as Eagles stats, I'm not touching anybody's stats in this game. This is going to be a defensive game, and I'll leave it at that. But I am taking the Eagles to win. If you wanted to bet anything, you can bet the goddamn tush push. Saquon or Jalen Hurts for a touchdown. Next up, you have the Ravens. Next up, you have the Ravens versus Texans. I'm going to take the Texans in this one. I don't trust Cooper Rush and the Ravens. Hopefully, with the spark that the Texans got last week, hopefully I can pull this out. I am taking the Texans. They are favored 1.5. I will take that. And the game is favored to go over 41. I don't know about that, but I will take the Texans. If you want to bet them to the plus category, that way they don't lose by a certain amount of points, you can do that as well. Whose stats am I taking in this one? I'm not taking Derrick Henry. I'm not taking anybody from the Ravens. I would take probably Justice Hill because he'll probably get a lot of dump offs. But I would probably take Woody Marks in this and Nico Collins, but that's about it. In the second toilet bowl game of the week, the Cardinals versus the Titans. Be mindful when the beta comes out for Call of Duty or Battlefield. But right now in this one, the Titans are so bad, I am going to take the Cardinals. It's scheduled to be over 41.5. I'll take that. They have the Cardinals winning by 8. I don't think so. I have them winning by between 3 and 6. And they should have an easy one against the Titans. But the Cardinals do Cardinals things, and they're going to make the game harder than what it is. So they're going to squeak this out. They're going to end up squeaking this out against the Titans. You hear, mark my words. Buccaneers Seahawks. This should be a good game. Let's see what happens with Bucky Irving. But I have the Seahawks winning this game because I think the Buccaneers are a little too banged up right now, and there's no Mike Evans to help them. There's no Mike Evans, so there may be no Bucky Irving. So give me the Seahawks in this. They have the Seahawks minus 3.5. I'll take them with the 3. And I do have the game going over the 44.5. Next up, this game shouldn't even be played. The Lions versus the Bengals. I have the Lions blowing out the Bengals. They have the total over 49.5. The only way you bet this is if the Lions score 49.5. Because the Bengals ain't putting up no more than probably 3 to 6 points. They have Detroit winning by 11. I would probably take that down between the 7 and 10 mark. You can bet Gibbs, St. Brown. Bet the Lions over their stats. You can, if you take a Bengal, you take them at your own risk. Don't touch any Bengals. They're unbettable right now. You can't take anybody from the Bengals. Commanders, they say that Jalen Daniels is on track to play, so this might be a little bit more interesting. But I am going to take the Chargers in the bounce back to win this game. Justin Herbert and the boys, they have the Chargers minus 2.5. I agree with that. Or you can bet the money line and the total over 48.5. I would take that only if Jaden Daniels plays. I would take the over with that. So I have the Chargers winning that. The Sunday night game, Bills versus Patriots. I have the Buffalo Bills winning. They have the Bills minus 7.5. I'll take the Bills with 6 and bet that down to 6. The total 48.5. I will take that over. It's going to go over 40 easily, but the Bills are going to win that game. And Monday, we have Chiefs versus Jags. We have the Chiefs winning that game very easily. The Chiefs are looking like the old Chiefs, and the Jaguars don't stand a chance. So there you have it. What is it? Oh, hold on. Let me do the bets. Patrick Mahomes over his stats. Do not bet Travis Kelce. You can bet Xavier Worthy over his stats. You can probably bet Travis Etienne over his stats. And the tight end and Parker Washington for the Jags. Because obviously Trevor Lawrence, we know, is not throwing to Brian Thomas or Travis. Or he's going to force feed Travis Hunter, but he won't be able to catch anything. So there you have it, boys. There's your Week 5 preview and betting preview from yours truly. We will see you next week, and we'll see if we were right or wrong. See you for the Week 5 recap and Week 6 preview. I'm out. Try to enjoy that game tomorrow or just watch it till halftime when the Rams blow out the 49ers.